future, a word everyone uses so casually, day in, day out, and yet it bears a multitude of concepts. So, leaving academia aside for once, what is a scholar's personal concept of future? What is your concept of future?
Backwards, forwards, back again.
The future is a wonderful, wonderful place somewhere a few years ahead from now.
Yeah. What is your concept of future? What is your concept of future?
I don't have one. I don't think it exists. It's a dystopia. It's a place and time that does not exist.
What is my concept of future?
Well, my concept of future is that I'm always looking for open doors, and if I can't find it directly, I just try to get behind the paradise and see if there's an open door still.
I think my conception of future is that we have to solve, from the engineering point of view, several main problems. One is how to support the world with enough energy, and the second one is how to support the world with clean water. I think that are the two main aspects that we have to solve in future because of the growing world population.
Future. I think it's a field of possibilities, first of all. And I actually think that it's only, at least as far as I'm concerned, conceivable. Not conceivable, of course it's not conceivable.
What is your conception of future?
It's the energy you generate today to sustain tomorrow.
You wanted a quick answer for that one. Okay, my conception of future. Jesus.
My conception of future is the different way people try to catch things to come according to their living conditions. Sorry for the horrible answer. You really got me.
Okay, it's a difficult question. I believe in future. I think that there is something there, and I believe that we can do something about it, but not all. That there's always this insecurity, this moment where which we can't influence. It's a surprise. It's maybe also a present that we can't control everything in life. So it's kind of hope. Of course, also with fears, but it's also it opens the perspective for hope, just to see what will come. Yeah.
I don't think there is one conception of future. There are several ones, and but I think there are not infinitely many ones. So the interesting question is whether we can describe concepts of future with few categories. So my idea would be that there is not one, and not say 100, but maybe something between 5 or 4 and 8, which we would need to classify concepts of future as we find them in the use, how people deal with their human-environment relationships.
My conception of future. My conception of future is. Oh, can we start over?
My concept of future. Well, I would like to refer to my favorite author, Joanna Russ, for that. And she said, we're moving incurably into the future, but there is no future. It has to be created. That's my concept of future.
Future is what lies ahead in your imagination, more or less. I mean, something, it's a fume. As I said, it disappears when you get there. But you imagine it's always there waiting for you.
Something that's embedded in the present.
Yeah, that's provocative. Oh man, I have to make a joke first. I'm sorry. My first thought is, my conception of future is, I hope I make it through the night to tomorrow. Okay. Now, and also at my age, I think about it differently from the way other people do.
Future is an everyday fact, is a constant that lives with us moment by moment.
The future is what we've been debating. It is a concept and it is a project. And that's what we can say. We are going around the concept and trying to think about ways of facing it in actuality.
My own conception of future is that, being brought up in the West, I'm used to thinking about future in a linear sense, whereas I'm very aware that other people, like the population I did research among, are much more focused on the past and the present.
Now, I know I'm supposed to answer this intellectually, but my conception for the future is that it's worth struggling to make things better. That's I think it's worth the struggle to make things better. So that's, and so I think about that, not every day when I get up, but it's a good base for grounding what I do. I think I'm just trying to make things a little bit better somehow. Is that okay?
My conception of future is probably rather short, in the sense, not just because of my age, but because I think about nowadays what I'm going to do in the next year, 2 years, 3 years, not what I'm going to be in 20 years, although in 20 years I'll probably be dead. So I think future has to do with your place in life. You know, when I was younger, the future appeared so open and uncertain, but now it's quite certain.
You know, I really think my future is right now, quite honestly. I don't really imagine a future. I'm constantly working in the now to help other people imagine a future. I feel like that's my role right now. So for that reason, I don't have the headspace to really sit and think about what the future might look like or what it should be like. I'm just really more concerned that people feel free enough to move and to create in the way that they want to, and I think that right there is our future, because we're creating every single moment and every single second, and every time we breathe in and breathe out.
Okay, for me it's rather a tool to make an intervention into the present. So I'm not so much interested in predicting the future or thinking of something that is to come in whatever way, but rather to use imaginations of the future. So it's rather an imaginary tool to intervene in the present.
But imaginable and maybe in any articulate form available through works of art at the moment. And the most privileged form to me seems to be performance art. I think models of the future, to me at least, are a contradiction in terms. And I feel that the only... No, that's it. Thank you.
I think my concept of future I mean, I suppose in the one way you could say future is potential. Because it's unknown and it hasn't happened on the one hand. But on the other hand, like my concept of future will be the same as my concept of present, in that these things which are so big, you can't really begin to understand them. Then they almost become nothing, actually. So, I don't know if that answers the question.
My conception of future is... do you want a clever answer? My conception of future is what's about to happen. And it is made up of everything that I actually don't know what the future is, honestly. So maybe that's my answer. I have no idea.